Nick, let's pivot to gameplay. Of course, we're all gamers here, right? We love gameplay. That was a big deal to see the gameplay trailer today for the first time. What were you guys trying to get across with the gameplay trailer?
Well, the first thing was to hopefully make it really clear that if you love Mafia, you're going to love Mafia The Old Country, right? This is classic. This is classic Mafia gameplay, modernized. It's brought to 2025, but if you like it, if you like Mafia, you're going to love this. But the other thing as well was to really show the variety of gameplay as well. The fact that there's knife fighting now. The combat's much more grounded and gritty. I hope that came across. There's horses as well, which
big
is
deal.
a new thing, right? So yeah, and the duels that you saw with the knife. So I think the big thing was this is familiar, but it's better. And it's and also I think the other big thing really was just to really give a taste of how this setting gives a new twist on that classic formula. Yeah.
I love that transition. Alex, back on you. Talk to me about combat. We see knife fighting, we see guns. Is it what we exactly expect, or is it a take on it in the Mafia world?
Well, again, we tailored combat to the time period and the setting. We're talking about a time before automatic weapons. But also we're talking about an environment that's very sparse, that's very rugged. And actually, another kind of angle we wanted to take on the design is kind of to channel something which was a bit more from the original Mafia game, where combat was a little bit more challenging. It was more tactical. With Mafia 3, we went in a more kind of like bombastic sort of combat direction. We wanted to sort of pare that back, make combat feel more dangerous, kind of like having to survive combat encounters rather than just blasting your way through them. So all of those things are really kind of like designed around the setting, and also Enzo's attributes. Enzo as a character, he is this kind of coiled spring, as we describe him, a guy that's a survivor. He survived the mines. So him kind of like scrabbling around, looting for kind of weapons in combat scenarios, for example, gives you a good idea about what it's like to kind of like survive through these combat encounters rather than just kind of shoot to win. Yeah. So in addition, I think we also saw again in the videos, but like the knife is quite a significant new addition in terms of combat. We wanted to make it so that the knife, again, it's kind of a Sicilian tradition. Sicilian knife fighting is very evocative of the time period and of Sicilian gangsters generally. So we wanted to make it so that the knife is more than just a kind of a one-shot kill kind of like animation. It's the player's knife. You can choose from different knives in the game. Each knife has got different attributes and skills associated with it. So you can kind of like, some knives you can throw, some knives give you bonuses in other aspects of combat. And then we've got this knife dueling mode as well, which is new to the game and new to Mafia. So, every now and again you come up against a kind of a boss character in missions, and you have a kind of a one-on-one kind of duel to the death with them as well.
That's sick as
that's
fuck.
cool.
Okay. That's awesome. What's not awesome is that there's no Tommy guns. And so I would like to come back to that point, Nick. Thank you very much, everybody. Did you ever play Assassin's Creed? They make shit up all the time. You know what I mean? Here's a wingsuit. Why not? You know what I mean? Well, give me a prototype Tommy gun. But if there are no Tommy guns, Nick, what are we getting into when it comes to firearms? There are guns. We saw them in the trailer.
Absolutely. I think the big difference, guns back in those days, they're less forgiving. You can't just like spray and shoot.
Sure.
Like a Tommy gun as well. So it's revolvers, it's bolt action rifles, but it's it's a much more tactical experience. You've got to really think about what you're doing. You're going to be in cover more. As Alex said, really, it's about a feeling of vulnerability, like really fighting for your life. Every bullet counts. You're going to be relying on the knife. You're going to be relying on your guns. But really, it's down to you as a player how you want to play. It's just a much more brutal, grounded experience, I think, than maybe players are used to in a Mafia game. But again, keep saying the word authenticity. But that's what it was like.